Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here for a new makeup releases video. I was inspired to do this by Angelica Nickvist here on YouTube. She's really amazing and the gist is pretty self-explanatory. We talk about everything new that's been announced, that's coming out. I sort of give you my opinions, what I have my eye on, I'm thinking of buying, what I'm passing on. I'm going to be throwing the pictures up so you guys can take a look. So let me go ahead and shimmy over a little bit so we can leave some space. I've been saving different things that I've seen on Instagram for the past about 2 weeks or so. So we're just going to be going through. A lot of them are from Trend and Mood, but any places that I get them from, I'll go ahead and list them down in the description box so you guys can check them out if you want to. I have my phone here. We're going to start off with this new release. It's from Beauty Bakery. It's 2 palettes actually. It looks like a sweet potato pie palette, as well as there's another one. Yeah, I'm with the Cookie Baking Crew. So the Cookie Baking Crew one looks like teal and red, white. It has some like gray in there as well. That's cute. I mean, it's very for the season, I guess. And then the sweet potato pie is very fall, super warm. I actually like the look of the sweet potato pie one more for the feels, like the fall holiday feels, than anything else. But I do think the color story of the Cookie Baking Crew one is a little bit more unique and interesting. It looks like these are actually exclusive to Target and CVS, and they'll be $14. They're 9 pans. I'm really liking these smaller eyeshadow trend that's going on with the 6 pans and the 9 pans, and I think this is perfect. And for Beauty Bakery, I've tried a few of their things so far and I've liked them. Their eyeshadows I haven't tried, so maybe I'll have my eye on this. More because I want to try out their formula than because I think this will be super unique to my collection. Next is this release from Tarte Cosmetics. It looks like it's launching on Black Friday. From the pictures, it looks like it's 2 palettes. The Magic Lamp eyeshadow palette, as well as the Melanin Chronicles palette. The Magic Lamp eyeshadow palette has 12 shades, and the Melanin Chronicles has 8 shades. The Magic Lamp has this sort of, it has reds, purples, a little bit of blue thrown in there. There are some shades that look really beautiful that I'm drawn to. That Uh-Oh shade, which is kind of like a plummy burgundy, is really pretty. Magic Carpet looks like a metallic, a purple metallic, maybe with a little bit of a shift to it, which is gorgeous. Make-A-Wish also looks like a duochrome, and Do You Trust Me is just this true red, which I love a good true red. But overall, even though I do think it's an interesting color story, I'm not drawn to wanting to buy it really. The same thing with the Melanin Chronicles with the 8 shades. It has 2 reds in there. Again, I love red eyeshadow, and it does look like maybe this shade Curry might be have a little bit of a shift, and this one Naturalista, it's like a mustardy brown, which I enjoy a lot, but I don't think I'll be picking up either one of these. But I do think they're interesting and really pretty, and I've heard good things about Tarte Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. I've just never personally tried it. But if you are interested, the gift set is going to be $52, and the Melanin palette will retail for $37. The gift box will also contain 2 glosses with the Melanin Chronicles palette. And the palette itself is going to be limited edition. So that's good information to have. Lunar Beauty has a new launch. They are launching the Outer Dimension Bronzing Brightening palette. You can see here, the packaging looks really pretty in that it has that iridescent, almost holographic effect to the front of it. In the middle it has the white shade, and it has that really cool like gray shade, and then you have like the gradient going around, which is nice if you're someone that likes contouring and bronzing palettes. The palette is $49, which is a little bit more up there in price. Also looks like 3 glosses and 1 liquid lipstick, as well as a brush set coming out. The brush set is $65. I've heard great things about Lunar Beauty's glosses, so I am a little bit tempted to maybe get the lip bundle. As far as the brushes, I have way too many brushes as is. A couple of these look really nice, but I don't think I need them. As far as the contouring bronzing palette goes, I've really shied away from those in the last couple of years because I realized anytime I got them, I never used all of the shades. I would pan 1 or 2 of the shades and then it would be set aside. I couldn't use it anymore because they weren't perfect for me. And even though I think this looks interesting and I could use like half of those shades, the other half are too light, but I also wouldn't want to use them as like highlighting under my eyes or anything. So it's definitely not for me. But if you like highlighting contouring palettes, or maybe if you're a makeup artist, you could have a little bit of diversity. But even then, I don't think it goes deep enough to be really helpful for a working makeup artist that might need a full range, unless you know that most of your clientele is in the light to medium skin tone, sector. It's something to look out for, but just not for me. Moving on, we're going to Revolution Pro, and they are coming out with a Marilyn Monroe collection. Looks like the Ultimate Shadow Palette, Diamonds, $28. Then there's an eye quad in white pearl, which is $15. An eye quad in pink crystal, which is also $15. Then you have a lip set in red, which is the lipstick and the lip liner, and that'll be $20. And then a lip set in nude, the same thing, lipstick, lip liner, $20. There's a $16 highlighter, $12 makeup bag, and then a $12 compact mirror, as well as a volume mascara and eyeliner set, which is $16. All right, let's take a look at the pictures here. I'm a little skeptical as far as the eyeshadow palette. I haven't had the best experience with Revolution's eyeshadow formula, but I also haven't tried them in a long time, and I haven't tried anything from Revolution Pro, so you guys will have to let me know. Something about the eyeshadow palette, like the shadows in there, don't look like they're gonna be very pigmented, which is maybe not the point because it is a Marilyn Monroe collection, and it's not like she was known for super intense eye makeup or anything, so they might be going for this ethereal wash of color thing. It looks like there's a lot of shimmers in here that have like little micro glitters. That might be pretty. They threw in like this random hot pink in there. I guess this sort of goes with her, but not really. It just looks very random thrown in there. The quads appear to be all shimmer. So that might be nice as like accompaniments if you have them there whenever you need a pop of some kind or an inner corner highlight or something. I might be interested in that, but I would wait to see some kind of review to see how people feel about it. Everything else, I'm not really interested. I know very recently Tarte Cosmetics did a Marilyn Monroe collection, and theirs was so beautiful, and this kind of looks like a cheap version of that. I feel bad saying it, but it's the truth, so I'm definitely not picking it up, but let me know if you're interested. Looks like MAC has a new release. It's a duo. It has extra dimension skin finish and double gleam, as well as a sheer tone blush and Omega. Maybe it's the picture I'm seeing, but that doesn't look like a blush at all. Maybe it looks like a very cool contour for super, super pale skin tones. I don't see where that would be a blush at all, but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm definitely not interested in this. It wouldn't work for me anyways, so it doesn't matter. It just seems like such a weird release for them. They had been doing better, but I don't know where this came from. It is so random, but whatever. The really big news, of course, Rem Beauty from, I think it's Rem, R-E-M? Rem? I'm going to say Rem Beauty from Ariana Grande launched. She had a bunch of products, so we're kind of going to go through them. So they have 3 smaller eyeshadow palettes. They're called the 3 Midnight Shadows eyeshadow palettes. They're $24. So then it looks like there's Baby Doll, which is the more warm toned one. Then there's Midnight Snack, which is the darker, cooler toned one. And then Principessa, which is lighter but also warm. Out of the 3 of those, I think the cool toned one, the Midnight Snack, has the most interesting of the color story, because really it's sort of a basic cool tone palette, but it does have that shimmer that's more towards the navyish blue side, and then it has like the brown that has some burgundy in it, so it's pretty. I suppose for a first launch you kind of want those basic shades. I'm sure that she'll go adding stuff from then on. Not anything that I need or I'm interested in. I don't like the packaging of this brand. Maybe they'll go do different collections that it will come out and be a little bit different. But this kind of silver plasticky packaging just makes it feel very 80s to me. I don't want to offend anyone, but that is the vibe that I'm getting. Sort of like what people thought futuristic would be like in the 80s. And to me, it makes the whole line look cheaper. I'm sorry. Again, I don't want to offend, but that is my opinion. The packaging, I think, looks very cheap, and it's not a very super expensive brand, but it's not super affordable either. It's sort of going towards the mid-range, affordable to mid-range. And for being Ariana Grande, I just expected something a little different than this. Moving on from the eyeshadow palettes though, let's look at the other stuff. There's Dream Lashes, which are just her false lashes. They're $16. It looks like there's 2 different styles. And then we have a few different mascaras, 2 different mascaras. There's a volumizing one and a lengthening one, and they're both $15. There's an eyeliner marker that's $19. There's some liquid shadows that are $16. A kohl eyeliner, which is $17. There's 3. There's a black, a white, and a brown one. There are 10 Interstellar highlighter toppers, which are $22. 6 matte lipsticks, which are $19. 4 lip stain markers, which are $16. 9 on your collar plumping lip glosses, as well as the Utmost Importance plumping lip gloss, which is $17, and that's clear with a warm vanilla scent. I'm interested to see how people feel about their liquid shadows, because I'm always up for trying liquid shadows. I like the idea of the lip stain markers, because I do like a good lip stain. Everything else, I'm gonna wait and see what the reception is like, what the reviews are like. I'm not going to jump into it. I do like Ariana, and I can see why she would be a good option as a celebrity to have a makeup brand, but I'm feeling very meh about the whole thing. From a celebrity brand to an influencer brand, Dominique Cosmetics came out with a mini eyeshadow palette. It's called the Unconditional palette. It's $28 and it has 6 shades. It already launched. I'm filming this on the 13th, which is Saturday. It launched yesterday on Friday. And it's a cute little palette. It looks like 3 mattes and 2 shimmers and a pressed glitter. Yeah. Matte shimmery finishes plus pressed glitter, which is that shade. That's Eternal. It's a cute little palette, but nothing special. Definitely doesn't go deep enough for me to be something that I would want in my collection. It has those 2 shades that are kind of peachy. They look very similar, so I don't think they needed both of those in there. And then you have this kind of berry tone in the shade Jaden, which looks pretty, but everything else, Love and Light. It looks like a light champagne. Soul just looks like a slightly peachier, slightly darker version of that. And then Eternal is a glitter. It looks to have a lot of silver in there. So cute, but nothing really special. Definitely not up my alley. It does look like with this collection, there's also 2 lip products, but I don't see any kind of information on those. They're just kind of in the picture. A release that I really don't understand. So Tarte Cosmetics has come out with this Tartelette Full Bloom Amazonian Clay palette. It's already available for purchase. It has 28 shades, and I'm wondering why they thought this was a good idea. Like, who was asking for this? Why do we need this big palette from Tarte? And don't get me wrong, people give Tarte a hard time, and I tend to really enjoy Tarte products. I've liked everything that I've had from them. The quality is always great, but we've had a few different rosy toned releases from them already this year, because we had that big Juicy palette, then we had the Tartelette Juicy, which is just a smaller version of the big one, and now we have this Tartelette Full Bloom, which looks like that Juicy palette mixed with some of the Tartelette in Bloom, basically. And it's this big palette. It makes it look cheaper, which I don't enjoy, because something about Tarte, like, their products always feel like they're worth the price with the packaging and everything like this. But this almost looks like a Revolution Beauty kind of palette. It also feels so out of touch, because all these brands are going into like the mini palette realm, and here's Tarte being like, well, we're gonna give you this big old palette. It's just so random. Like, nobody needs this. I totally feel like they missed the mark on this, and we're just gonna move on. Juvias come out with their holiday stuff. It looks like it already dropped. It includes a matte and shimmer eyeshadow palette that's $25. It's a little mini 6-pan, as well as some lid toppers that are $20 each. There are 2 lid toppers. One looks more coppery, which is very pretty. The other one looks kind of champagne. Yeah, it says metallic shimmering rose gold and metallic shimmering golden nude. There's a Life of the Party set, which I'm guessing is the palette along with the lid toppers. It doesn't specify, but that's what I would guess it is. The little palette is cute, but it kind of just reminds me of their like longer skinny dip palette from a few years ago. Then they added a couple of mattes. I heard the formula on that skinny dip palette was super great with like all of the metallics, so I'm interested in that. I haven't tried their mattes before. I definitely won't be picking this up, but I do wish maybe they would come out. Do they have singles? I would have to look into that, if Jouer has their metallics but in singles, because if they do, then I would like to try that. The toppers look beautiful though. They're kind of tempting me a little bit, especially the golden nude one. So you might see that. We'll see. I'm on a low buy, so I'm really trying to restrict myself, but I might cave and pick it up. For more indie brands, Give Me Glow Cosmetics came out with this Bad Witch Club palette that actually looks really beautiful. It has like a coral, a peach, and then it has blues, greens, and then purples all along the bottom. It's launching on the 26th. I'm not sure as far as the pricing goes. I love the packaging, like the outer packaging. It's really beautiful, and how they got all those different tones in there. I'm not sure about the greens being in here, because I think the blues go with the purples and sort of the peaches, but I wish the peaches were actually pink. I think it would even go with the packaging better if they were more pink. Then the pink would go with the purple and would go with the blue. It would sort of flow better for me. That's why I'm gonna pass on this, even though I know Give Me Glow has a great formula, but there's just a few things about the color story that I'm not into. So definitely, if those greens were, and I love green, it's not about it being green, but as far as like cohesive and how they go together, if they had replaced those greens and those corals were more pinks, I would be all over this. I would be dying, I would be running, I would be getting it right as it launched, but just not quite right. Colourpop, our weekly Colourpop. There's always something coming out from them. Their holiday collection is the Roaring Hearts collection, and I guess it's inspired by the 1920s. They have a 10-pan eyeshadow palette that is very much neutral. There's 3 graphics ink liners, one in rose gold, in gold, and in black. There's a pair of lashes, as well as some Super Shock shadow duos, some luster dust, and some French Kiss lip lacquers. It looks like a pretty collection. It's very on theme. I do like the packaging a lot, but Colourpop always hits it with the packaging in all of their collections. The basic bitch in me kind of is really into the palette, but I also just got the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals, so I don't think I'm gonna let myself get it, but I'm definitely tempted, so don't kill me if you end up seeing it here on the channel. The Super Shock shadows do look very nice. There's like a gold one, as well as, let's take a look. Yeah, there's 2 kind of champagne-y, there's a gold, and there's more of kind of like a shimmery slate gray, which I think is on theme. The lashes look kind of a little fake, a little plasticky, but what are these? The graphics ink liners look gorgeous, especially that gold one. It would go so well with so many different kind of eyeshadow looks as sort of an accent. So maybe if those come as a set, like all 3 of them together, I might pick that up. Not really interested in anything else. Again, tempted by the Roaring Lights eyeshadow palette, but I'm gonna do my best to resist it. I'm sure by next week there'll be a different Colourpop release, and this one will get like forgotten by then. Woma by Sharon C, which is Woma's more affordable line that they have at Walmart, has added new products to their line. So it looks like One and Done Complete Brow Styler for $8.48. Lips Don't Lie lipsticks for $7.48. They're highly pigmented satin matte lipsticks. They also added glosses, the Floss Gloss for $7.48. I love that name. And the Primed to Glow Illuminating Prep, which looks like a face primer, and that's $9.48. The glosses look very pretty, so I'm interested in those. That shade Edible, which is kind of spicy, pumpkin spicy, looks very pretty, super up my alley. I like the range of the lipsticks. You have sort of a brown, you have 2 different tones of reds, 2 different tones of pinks, like mauves, and then you have a nude at the end. I feel like they went for a good spectrum, especially for adding them. It's a new product to their line. I'm not huge on bullet lipsticks, but those do look pretty. I don't really use brow products, so I don't have any kind of opinion on that. Mostly because I forget to do my brows all the time, so I just stopped bothering really. And the Prep Primed to Glow Skin Perfecting Illuminating Primer. I love me a nice illuminating primer, but for me, if it's illuminating, I also need it to be hydrating because I have dry skin, and so many times you'll get these illuminating primers and they'll just be kind of like a liquid highlighter and that's it. So I'm interested to see if someone tries it so I can know what the finish and the texture is like. The last thing I have to talk about today, Laura Lee Los Angeles came out with the Blush Aesthetic Palette. It's 8 shades for $28. It looks like there's matte and there's shimmer blushes. They look very pretty. There's a couple of peaches in there, kind of orangey, one that's more red. There's like a mauvey pink in there, and what I'm guessing is supposed to be a shimmer blush, but really just looks like a golden highlighter, at least from this picture that I'm seeing right here. Go ahead, like you guys will be seeing it as well. Overall, this one's too light for me and my skin tone and what I like, so I'm not really interested. I also have to be really into every single shade of a blush palette to pick it up, because if I'm not going to be using half of it, it's useless to me. I might as well wait and get like individual blushes or something where I know I'm going to get as much use as possible out of them. That's also the reason why I wouldn't go for this, even though like 2 or 3 of the shades look pretty to me. But maybe if you have a lighter skin tone than I do, you might be really into this. Yeah, that is it. I had some other stuff saved, but it's from like 2-3 weeks ago, and as fast as the beauty industry goes, you guys are probably sick of hearing about them by now, and they're not even new to you anymore. There was a couple of nice things, but overall I found the releases a little bit boring, a little bit basic this week. There are a couple things I have my eye on, but nothing that I'm going to be rushing out to go and get. Maybe if I wasn't on a low buy, I'd just like go trigger happy and just get things, but I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of how many products I have in my collection, having a reasonable collection so that I can use all of the things that I have and give them a lot of love. Let me know if any of them are something you guys are interested in. I'll be back next week with another new makeup releases. If I missed anything because it came out after I already filmed this, then obviously you'll be seeing that next week. If you want to stay updated, go ahead and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I hope you guys are doing well, and until next time, bye!